Scott Adams is somebody who, again, he invented the Dilbert comic. I don't really have much to say about him. He said some pretty outlandish things, to say the least. But what he did say was that he is stricken with cancer and he needs help, and that he is hoping that the president of the United States will step in and get him the help that he needs.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. And then, of course, because he really likes the president, he said he would step in and help him. Imagine living in a country where you can reach out to the president and he will just automatically give you a helping hand. Or if you actually had a single-payer healthcare system, we wouldn't need to rely on something so ridiculous.
Yes,
but that's true. What we are. We have to rely on people's generosity to get healthcare in an emergency situation. But because it's so damn profitable, you have to masquerade around like this is what's really the way that the system should be. I don't know how anyone looks at this and thinks, yeah, this is completely normal. This is
normal. Where people will spend, a collective group of oligarchs will spend $40 million to fight against people having things, as opposed to just spending the $40 million for people to have things, right? Like, think about how insane that is. So absurd. This is where we are, though. This is where we are.
Nordisk is in the middle of a potential $10 billion acquisition for a smaller obesity biotech. They might need your and the FTC's help to see that through. Do you have any issues with that, or Eli Lilly buying a smaller obesity biotech from an anti-competitive
Well, I don't
standpoint?
know. Do you want to talk about that? I'd like to hear it. Maybe you should give us a piece of the company, like I've been asking for.
So
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a great idea. Let's give him a piece of that company.
So the president wants the government to own a piece of the pharmaceutical company, but no, that's not what he means. He's not talking about the government owning a part of the healthcare system in order to reduce the cost. No, it's, hey, that sounds like a really great idea. How can I get a piece of that? Because it sounds like it can make more money.
Exactly. It's how can we, yes, it's about his investment portfolio. It's not about the government actually being involved in that process. It's about him getting a cut.
If we had a government-funded healthcare system, then Eli Lilly and all of the pharmaceutical drugs that they put on the market at probably 1,000-fold more expensive than what they really are, would never be able to do such a thing. Because that's how it works in every other developed country in the world. As our good friend who's about to join us, who is on dialysis, in a normal functioning country, this would just be, oh, you need it? Okay. Oh, come on in. No big deal. Here, you have to beg and pray that you don't die.
Yeah, but dialysis is one of those things that's just extremely profitable. And so they have every incentive to just keep people on it.
Of course, that's the whole point. And even though and that is the other reason why healthcare, again, doctors, nurses, this is still the free market. They can make whatever they want, but healthcare as a right is not a profit business. It can't be. The only way you can make it a profit business is if you keep people sick or you kill them. That's it. There is no other option. So anyone who complains about the health system in this country, but doesn't realize that single payer is the only solution, then you don't actually care about solving the problem. And you've been fed a lot of, we'll just say, propaganda as a means to not actually understanding why it works in other parts of the world. And don't give me the freaking Canada excuse. Just look at the countries that actually get it right. All countries have problems, but you know what? I would trade this system for Italy's system, for France's system, for Japan's system, for Australia's. I would trade it for China's system.
Spain. Mexico.
Mexico.
Cuba.
Yeah. Say a lot of things about Cuba. You'll never hear a thing. You won't ever hear a bad thing about their health system. In fact, when shit hits the fan in other parts of the world, Cuba sends their doctors to other places to help people. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? We'll finish it up.
Give the United States a nice big chunk of the company.
So Novo Nordisk and Pfizer right now are in the middle of an acquisition dialogue and discussion.
It's you and Pfizer?
It's us and Pfizer.
Competing for the company?
Competing for the company.
Who's winning?
And as of today, our bid is higher. And our message to Pfizer is that if they would like to buy the company, then put your hand in the pocket and bid higher. It's a free market.
There's your free market, Peter. You always talk about how you appreciate the free market.
I have agreed with you time and again. Leave education, healthcare, and corrections alone. And again, you can put police under the branch of corrections, which a lot of people refuse to do.
I would put the police not existing and have abolition. So then,
Sure.
yeah, that would be my pick. So there you go.
But I'm also saying that if you want to reduce this problem, this is one of those ways to do it. Single payer is the only solution, and anyone who continues to pretend like it isn't. Case in point, look at this. People are spreading this around like Trump was somehow pontificating this idea that, oh, yeah, the government's going to control. No, he's just looking for a way to get more rich. This is, this is it. I am the president, and technically I could take a piece of your action if I really wanted.
Exactly. He's just trying to get a cut.
Single payer now, single payer forever. This is the only way forward.
It's the only way.
We have been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Now, obviously, we have had our good friend Jay on before, and we have not spoken to Nick in quite some time. But as you guys know, the other revolutionary podcast, Revolutionary Blackout Network, has been doing excellent work. I hope a lot of you guys are familiar with as we have been doing the same, non-duopoly political maneuvering, because that is the only way forward. And we've got a lot to talk about. Nick Cruz, welcome back. Now, for the first time, to Revolutionary Change.
Hi.
Hey, what's poppin', my friend? It's great to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be in conversation with you guys.
Yeah. I never wanted you guys to think, like you won't know this, but as a mom person, when you're getting ready to name your kids, like you don't like the idea of other people copying you so that their kids have the same name as your kid because you kind of want to be original and stuff. And I don't want you guys to feel like we copied on the name thing, but I really needed it to not be me anymore. I needed it to be, and I also started feeling more revolutionary. But yeah.
A lot of people have. The last few years radicalized a lot of people, and what I view as my responsibility is trying to guide the working class into the right direction after they have been misled by gatekeepers for a very long time. So there are a lot of people who were significantly to my right who criticized me for a lot of my critiques, who later came around like, oh, I see where you was coming from now. They see the class element. So we always got to give people chance to grow and evolve, and I'm always one to do that. I'm always one to keep that line of dialogue open, even people we have words before. So it's great to be on the channel, and obviously you guys, I didn't even think about you guys still in the name, because I think everyone wants a little bit of revolutionary change. So
yeah, I wanted to redo our colors. We just needed a rebrand. We needed a facelift.
Well, you're not alone. And of course, your good buddy and a friend of the show, Jay Bufont. Welcome back to Revolutionary Change.
Hey.
What's poppin', brother? I didn't know Jay was going to be here. What's going on, brother? What's poppin'?
Good to see everybody here. Good to be back with you guys. It's been a lot of news going on lately. And one of the things that I do want to mention is that, especially in regards to healthcare, I'm a little bit more radical. I say, single payer healthcare system is not good enough for me now. I want a fully nationalized healthcare system, because we actually have to get profit out of the hands in these companies that want to, including take money from our government in order to enrich themselves. Got to get rid of that too. So I think a fully nationalized healthcare system similar to the Cuban model, I think, is something that we should have.
Jay, can you right off the bat get into, you personally could have lost your life as a result of the American healthcare system. And I always think it's interesting when you hear people talk about, well, I don't want that healthcare system. And I often think that the only people who talk like that are people that have never faced death in the face. And then as soon as they face it, the radicalization of their opinion about the healthcare system changes like that.
Absolutely. And this is the sad part and this is, I think, where empathy is absolutely necessary, with people who have never went through something, and then they try to feel what other people are feeling. And it's sad that we live in a country where you have a lot of people who they don't want to change until it affects them directly or it affects somebody around them directly. But the thing when it comes to healthcare, especially within this nation, is that if you've always had good healthcare, to you, the system works.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that there's too few of people who have the levers of power, and they're not uncomfortable enough. And that's one of my biggest issues, is that they're so comfortable to the point where they think that, oh, well, the system is good, so what do we have to change it for? Meanwhile, millions upon millions of people who are, and a lot of times you talk about the uninsured, but we need to talk more about the underinsured,
Yes.
the people who are spending thousands and thousands of dollars just for somebody to give them a yes or no to something that saves their life. What kind of dystopian BS is that? Well, we're actually asking a third party to tell us, oh, well, you know what, you guys should approve that surgery, or you shouldn't approve that surgery or that certain treatment. No, it should be between a person and their doctor. And for people who sit there and defend us not moving to a nationalized healthcare system, they're like, oh my God, that's socialism. Here's my question. Do you really, if you're all about body autonomy and not having people in between, then why do you find that okay for insurance companies to get in between you and your doctor? The math ain't math in there to me. It doesn't make any sense. And so that's why I'm such a big proponent of nationalizing the healthcare system. Because if you really want to have just a relationship between you and your doctor, then it should be between just those two entities. It should not be between you, your doctor, and some third party person that doesn't even know you. And there was a doctor, recently a surgeon that does, she does breast reconstructive surgery, but this is more in line with women who have cancer. And I'm not sure if you guys saw it. I'm blanking on her.
Yes,
the
she got
name.
called out of her surgery to go deal with that. She had to scrub out of surgery to go and deal with the insurance company, questioning if this patient needed to spend the night.
Exactly. And the thing is like, when she was on the phone, she wanted to get their name and the number that, that they're under so she can see if they're actually her peer, so that she can, let them know, like, hey, if you're my peer, if you know everything that I know, then you should know that this person needs an overnight stay in the hospital, and this should be without question. But the thing is, like, the person that was answering her question was not in the exact same field as her. So therefore, he was making an educated guess based on something that he's not specifically a specialist in. And so why in the world would I go to somebody who specializes in brakes for my transmission? And they never even touched my car. They never even looked there under my hood. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So why are we doing that with our own bodies? Our own health? That doesn't make any sense. But that's the capitalist system. And that's how it operates, because it's built on exploiting us, not just for our labor, but for our own bodies too.